Christy Klein with Truth Fairy TV, and I am here with Christine Werlin, our gluten-free cooking expert. And I'm excited about this one because we are making gluten-free crepes today.
That's right.
Something you would never even think of as being possible. And how did you come up with this recipe?
Well, first of all, I tested it several different ways. I was raised with gluten crepes, I should say. It was a staple breakfast food in our house. Actually, we instead of doing it with a dessert like a Nutella or ham or cheese or anything, we just rolled it up with jam and would eat it for breakfast. One of our favorites. And then it was something I missed, and I wanted my kids to still have once we had to go gluten free. So I tested numerous flour mixtures, mixing them myself. Big headache. Everything was turning out just ridiculous. And then, believe it or not, the easiest one ever was just using the Bob's Red Mill flour mix. Already pre-done, so we're just gonna put a couple half cups of that in there, a couple cups of that in there, and it's easy. So we're gonna be fancy, and everybody's gonna think you're fancy, but when you actually make this dish, it is so easy, and people don't know that.
And we're making this part of it today actually dairy-free, but you can just switch out the nut milk that we'll be using for regular milk.
Right. And then I'm also going to be, you're going to have to use butter when you actually cook them.
Okay.
And it's something that's important in between each one, but we're going to do a dairy-free alternative to regular butter.
Great.
And we are putting Nutella in there. Nutella is not dairy-free. But it's something then you could do jellies, fresh fruit. You could do numerous things with this crepe.
Okay, and that's gluten-free though. The Nutella is gluten-free.
Yes.
And it's also delicious.
Right, it's great. And then if you also want to do not a dessert crepe like we are doing today, you could do savory crepes. So you could fill it with like crabs and scallions and do like a lemon cream sauce with it. You could do a very easy ham and cheese. There's just numerous. You could get online and research. There's so many things out there telling you what you put in it.
And all with this basic recipe.
With this basic recipe. Great. Once you get the crepe, you're good to go.
Let's go.
Okay.
Great.
So we're going to start out is putting in the, I'm going to put in the wet ingredients first on this one.
Okay.
Usually you want to mix all dry ingredients, but seriously, since the flour is already mixed, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
So we're going to put in, it is the recipe, the standard recipe, which is going to be on your website, is that it's a half cup of milk and flour to each egg. So we're doing a triple recipe right now because we're going to feed the crew after this with this. So let's hear. So we're adding the milk. This is almond milk. It's the Blue Diamond almond milk, which is gluten-free and dairy-free. We're going to add in the eggs, so 3 of them here.
Okay. What do you need my help with anything right now?
No. Here, let me just get
this. This just seems so easy. If you're doing one-to-one mixture, it's really kind of hard to mess up.
Exactly. Yes. Yes, and if you just stick to this flour, your life will be easy. Trust me, I went through everything, and this was the best. This was the only one my kids would eat, actually, too. So, and then it's a 1/4 teaspoon of oil per egg, too. So I'm putting that in there.
Just any vegetable oil, canola oil?
Yeah, I personally, because of the trans fat issues and everything, we use extra light tasting olive oil.
Oh,
it works out fine. And then you're going to put in a 1/4 teaspoon salt per egg.
Okay.
So I'm just going to shake it out, get a nice level scoop here. Let's do 3 of those. And then the funny thing is every time I tell people to bake, I am adamant about having it level scoops of flour because you really can mess it up if you have too much flour. This one, you just have to play it by ear. It is a scant cup, so you're actually not putting in a full half cup. I'm using a half cup measurement so I can count out per egg what we're doing. So I'm going to kind of put this in there. Just get a little bit out here, and I have not filled it up all the way. So there's like kind of holes because otherwise the crepe will be too heavy.
Oh, okay.
So you definitely want it kind of a light,
airy crepe. Otherwise it's a pancake.
And then like that one was really light, but see this one here. Let me get a little less in there. Oops.
Okay.
So it just doesn't have to be perfect.
Okay.
And you'll be fine.
And
but you just don't want to be over. Is the thing.
Yeah, and if you get too much in of it, you could probably just add a little bit more milk, and once you get used to it, you could probably just tell.
And it'll be fine. So we're gonna just take this all now and blend it. Okay. You can just use a wire whisk or a handheld. There's nothing fancy about this whatsoever. I personally, right now, I'm gonna blend it because using a wire whisk sometimes some of the flour could clump up a little bit, so you just have to be extra careful about whisking it in.
Okay. And how long do you blend it for?
Oh, just until it's all incorporated. Okay, so when you're done mixing it, we're gonna take it over and we're gonna roll it out on the stove. Most people think they have to have some kind of special crepe pan. My grandmother always used a flat pan, and I'm going to show you how to pick that pan up off the stove, roll it out, and you're going to have a gorgeous crepe.
Oh, easy peasy. Yeah. Okay, great. Let's go over.
Okay.
Okay, here we are at the stove. What temperature is this at?
We are at a medium-high heat because we're using almond milk. If you're using almond milk or coconut milk, you need to cook it at a high heat because they don't brown the same.
Okay.
So if you're using a dairy, you need to actually reduce the heat down to like a medium-low heat. Otherwise, it will scorch and brown and burn on you really quickly. Oh. So what we're going to do is, starting out, a good trick here is, since you're going to be using a lot of butter and you have to do it, rotate it around the pan to get it nice. It adds a good flavor, and it also makes it easy to flip, is to cut away the wrapper of the butter down so you could use your hands, because otherwise you're going to be putting butter on, rotating butter around. This way you're just going to do really quickly.
Smear around real quick.
And now this is a dairy-free butter that we're using. It's by Earth Balance. The pan's fairly hot, and this one does scorch with the heat, so you just have to be really quick and careful.
And what is that made out of?
It's different like soy oils and whatnot in it. So I'm going to just rotate it around the pan, get it all nice and buttery. And as you go along, since this is the first one we're doing, it's going to take a little bit more. After that, you're just going to kind of quickly go. And then I'm going to take a ladle and actually ladle on some of this and start rotating. I pick the pan up off, and you start just rotating the pan, getting the bottom of it nice and covered. See how it's nice and covered?
Oh, that's perfect.
If you put too much in there, you can actually pour it back into the batter, and it's fine. So that way you're not getting it too thick of a crepe. So now I'm going to start loosening up the edges by taking my spatula, running it around.
And it's so fast, too.
That's what a beauty of using the almond milks I like, because I can actually cook them faster than using the lower heats with the dairy.
How long does it take? What's the time difference?
Just a couple seconds or so. I mean, you'll start seeing it kind of dry out a little bit. You'll get better at it as you go along. Seriously, it still tastes great, so you're not really going to mess it up. And then, so I'm going to flip it over now. See that?
It looks great.
It did brown just a little bit, but not a ton. If you're using milk, it will brown a little bit more. So we just flip it over.
And people shouldn't worry about that either. No. If they're looking at it and they go, oh, it's not brown, it doesn't, it's not done.
So now if you're serving this to yourself and you just want a quick dessert, you can start putting on the Nutella now, or you can wait till it gets on the plate. It's up to you. When we're doing this for breakfast, we put them on the plate, put the jam down it, roll it up. This one we're going to do a nice triangle. So again, I'm going to check it a little bit. That's definitely browning out. So I'm going to flip it back onto here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to just take actually the back of the spoon, because it spreads easier, and just get a nice corner of it. Because with Nutella, it's so chocolatey and yummy, but you don't need a ton of it. So I'm just going to spread it around. Again, once the Nutella and the spoon starts warming up, it'll be easier. And I'm actually going to fold it in half and do a quadrant. And then you just, voila, you serve it with ice cream, sprinkle on some powdered sugar, you're done with a dessert.
That's so easy.
Yes. Now, if you want to fill it, you could actually roll it. You could fill it with the cheeses and ham and different things, or crab, and you just roll it up. And then you just serve it with the sauces.
Now we're going to eat that crepe right away, but if you were going to have a party, you don't want to be sitting here and not entertaining your guests, so you have some party tips for us.
Yes, you could actually make these ahead. What the problem usually with them is reheating them or letting them get crunchy.
Yeah.
If they're sitting out too long, they'll actually start drying out, and you want them nice and pliable and tasting fresh. So what I'm going to show you is something that my mom taught me. This is how she fed 6 of us on Saturday mornings with crepes. Is she actually took a pot like this, and you fill it with water. You're going to put it on a back burner near where you are cooking, and actually get it simmering. So the hot water will come up and heat the plate. It will keep a nice moist heat on it, kind of thing, so it's not drying it out like if you try to keep it in the oven. That's a big no-no. And then you're going to take a lid. Now, this lid doesn't match any of my pots. I just picked it up at a garage sale for free. It was a mixed match lid, but I like the depth of it because you can actually stack a bunch of them under there. And I'm not going to, when you cook them, you actually are not going to fold them up into the Nutella. So we're just pretending that we're cooking one. So I get on my stove, I cook it, I just take it off, I flip the whole thing, put it there, put the lid on, and go to number 2 again.
Okay, so you don't fill them.
You do not fill them yet.
Okay.
So you wait till when you get closer to the party, because then otherwise the Nutella or whatever other ingredients you get in there will actually start soaking the crepe. It'll start going the other way. Oh, so you don't want to be doing that. And the other thing I just want to make sure that we got this out there again is if I was making another crepe right now, I would have to run that butter around again. You know, the French, they like their butter. So just to make sure it's cooking properly.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're going to dig in.
Thank you.